Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle Barra. I've been a personal stylist for 25 years. I now help people like you build wardrobes that mix and match easily. So today the subject is very apt, I think, in the current economic climate, and I wanted to address it because I know a few of you have told me you're on a budget but you still want to look stylish. So today's video is all about how to look expensive or how to look sophisticated, classy, elegant, etc. on a budget. So how do we do that? So I've got lots of tips for you today. So before I go on, I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who likes and subscribes and shares and comments below, because all of that really helps me build content to what you want, but also it helps me keep going with this channel. So keep that coming. If you haven't already subscribed, please do, using the button below, because I'd love to hear from you and I love to hear feedback from you so that I can develop this channel to serve you best. So today's video is all about that. Some of you in the comments have told me you still like to look well put together but you're on a budget. So without further ado, let's get started. Now, in a recent survey in the current economic downturn, 61% of people said what was influencing their buying was the price rather than sustainability or anything else. Now, this is quite a kind of dangerous area to be in, because I think sustainability should be on a lot of people's minds at the moment, but I kind of feel like the two can go hand in hand, and quite often you can be sustainable as well as saving money. So I've got some tips for that for you today as well. By the way, if you can hear some pitter-pattering, it is a very dull, horrible day outside, and it is absolutely pelting down with rain outside. So unfortunately I can't control the weather. It's wild out there. Just be glad, or I'm just glad I'm not filming outside. So one of the things that I need to say is that to be elegant, to look sophisticated, to look well put together, you don't need a lot of money. You just need a few timeless, classic, well-structured, quality pieces rather than quantity to add to your wardrobe, and then you slip in the odd piece which maybe isn't quite as good quality, but those key pieces lift your whole outfit. So that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. There is no reason why every single one of you watching this, whatever budget you are on, can't actually have a sophisticated, elegant wardrobe on a budget. Now, number one is quality over quantity. Now, I know some of you are on a huge budget and quality may be a bit difficult for you, but what I would say is the key to kind of looking at as if something is quality. It's not about whether it's got a designer label on it. That means nothing. It's about the stitching. Look at the stitching. Is the stitching on the garment really straight? Is the garment finished off properly on the inside? What's the fabric content? Now, more often than not, natural fabrics tend to be more expensive than the man-made plastic-based fabrics. Now, natural fabrics tend to be better for so many different reasons. I know a lot of you have told me you have allergies, so often natural fabrics are better for you if you've got allergies. B, it's better on the skin. C, it's better for the environment as well, because a lot of those garments are actually made plastic-based fabrics. So if you're looking for the quality, look for garments that are maybe if it's often a garment that would be lined. Is it lined properly? Are the shoulders structured properly? What are the buttons like? Do the buttons look cheap? The buttons can tell you quite a lot. The zip can tell you quite a lot as well. So look for those tiny details when you're looking for that quality over quantity. And it is so much better to have one decent pair of black leggings or one decent black t-shirt or shirt or white shirt or whatever it is than having 5 really cheap ones. So always look for quality over quantity. Tip number 2. Now, this is one that I've done for a few years now, and I promise you it works. Shop out of season. So let's say, for example, you are looking for, I'll give you one of my examples, which I've used quite a lot. I was looking for a charcoal grey tailored wool coat. I wanted it below the knee, I wanted it single-breasted, and I wanted it to be classic and timeless. No crazy collars, no crazy pocket flaps, no crazy bits, hems or buttons or anything particularly distracting. Just a simple, tailored, charcoal grey wool coat. And it took me kind of 2 seasons to find one because I wanted one of quality and I was on a budget. So I eventually found a Dolce & Gabbana Preloved coat. Now, the time that I bought that was spring. Now, that is not the time when most people are looking for a full length wool coat, is it? But the point is, if you try and look for things that are out of season, then the chances are you're going to get them for a better price. So if you're looking for something that's quality over that quantity, try and buy it out of season. Now next, kind of ties in with the last two, and that's buy pre-loved. Second-hand charity shop, second-hand shop, thrift store, consignment store, whatever it is, whatever you call it, but basically clothes that have been owned by somebody else. Now this, I think, is a really good one because for lots of different reasons. Usually you can access clothes which are of much better quality than you maybe would have been able to access for the same price. And often, I mean, I've bought quite a few things where they've still got the tags on them. And also it's better for the environment. So if you are on a budget and you're looking for that quality item and you can't afford it at a full price, look for it out of season, pre-loved. So look on eBay. eBay are now doing a thing where you can also list your clothes for free. I think they're trying to compete with the likes of Vinted and Depop and all those. So look for those second-hand apps which you can use on your phone, or sometimes you can access them online as well, and look for clothes on that. And just every now and again check in, and if you see something and it's, say like for example you are looking for a coat and it's coming to the end of the winter, you know, like it or whatever you do, often it's a little heart button, you like it, and keep an eye on it for a little while and then buy it when it's out of season, because often you can get somebody to knock the price down as well. So definitely go for pre-loved. Now next up is hire. Now if you've got a particular event coming up, whether it's a special occasion, and you want something that looks really elegant and maybe of good quality, but you can't afford to buy it, then hire it. Look at by rotation, look at I think Selfridges rental, Flannels rental. If you look in the comments, I've listed a few companies that allow you to hire designer clothes, dresses, shoes, bags, the lot. So definitely take a look at that as well. That's another option, and it's another way of having something that's quality for a short time but not paying the full price for it. And also, if it is a one-off occasion, so say like it's a business event or it's a wedding or it's a special birthday or whatever it is, a ball, you know, you've not got that item clogging up your wardrobe afterwards. If it's something that you don't think you would wear somewhere else again, then definitely hire it. It's a great way of having something that's elegant and sophisticated, looks expensive because it is, but you get to hire it. Now, another really simple way of looking expensive on a budget is to keep your colours to a minimum. Now, I always think there's a magic number of 3. I don't know why that is. There's probably some mathematical reason why that works. There's probably some scientists who go, oh yes, that's because of da da da. But I always think 2 base colours and then 1 highlight colour. Now, the highlight colour doesn't necessarily have to be a bright colour. It can be a neutral as well. You could go sort of black and ivory with beige, let's say, for example. But 3 colours I think tends to work really well. Now, if you have a slight trim somewhere, then it's quite good to link that colour somewhere through to the rest of your outfit. So for example, I can't actually show it you today, but I've got this here, so I might link, if I went out, I would think about linking this colour through to my shoes or through to a belt or something, so that it just pulls the outfit together. But those 3 colours work really well. And if you think about it and you look at anybody who looks very sophisticated and looks expensive, and I don't mean that cheap sort of garish expensive, it's usually under 3 colours their outfit. Now, next up, match your accessories. Now, I know some of you have said to me that some people say don't match your accessories and that you don't need to do that. And you don't need to do it, you don't have to do it. Of course you don't have to do it, but I tell you what it will do, it will pull your outfit together. So whatever you wear as your base, whether it's a dress, jumpsuit, skirt and top, whatever it is, if you have, say, a hat with a leather trim on it that matches your belt and then matches your shoes, or your belt matches your bag, or shoes match your bag, or whatever it is, all those accessories, if you're pulling them together. This the same goes with jewellery. So let's say you have a bracelet which then matches your necklace and your earrings, or just matches your earrings, or necklace just matches your earrings, whatever it is, match those accessories together. You don't have to match it all together, but I kind of think if you're pulling it through at different parts of your outfit, so in other words different parts of your body, it does look much more elegant, it looks much more sophisticated, and it looks like you're well put together, which in turn kind of looks expensive. I think when it's sort of mishmashed and it's sort of thrown together, that's when it can look cheaper. I don't know why that is, but it definitely does. Now this one I've sort of mentioned before as well, and that's avoid massive logos. Now this is what I sort of said earlier. Having quality over quantity doesn't necessarily mean having big logos, and I think unfortunately, you know, some of the accessories brands which have big logos on their bags particularly, or on their belts, etc., can often now look cheap because they've been replicated so many times, and it just, to me, when I see it, it looks like somebody trying to tell everybody they've got money. Whereas if we want to look expensive, and I mean genuinely look expensive and sophisticated and well put together, we don't need to scream that. It's a very subtle, it's a very neutral look. It's not screaming how to look, it's not screaming money basically. So I would avoid logos across the top, you know, bags, all that, etc., because I think it just does, it's sort of trying to tell people, particularly like t-shirts or sweatshirts, it's trying to say, look, I've ordered this type of sweatshirt or t-shirt, unless there's something, you know, on occasion I've seen hoodies that look really, really thick and chunky and warm. That I think kind of works because it kind of does, it does look like it's a good quality hoodie. But I think most of the time with logos I would avoid them. Also, download my Capsule wardrobe planner. I'll put the link here because you can fill that out as you go through your wardrobe, editing it. It kind of gives you ideas on, you know, what to keep, what to think about keeping, what to think about removing, and etc, etc. So it kind of helps you think about the process of editing your wardrobe as well. Next up is too much fuss. So it's kind of similar to what I said before, but I think too many details, too much pattern, too many colours, you know, too much glitter, maybe lots of like logos or patterns or embroidery or anything that looks excessive. To me, unless it's on one simple garment, so let's say you have a beaded jacket, or you have a beaded dress, or you have I don't know, a piece of jewellery that's quite distinctive, I think that can work. But I think the vast majority of your outfit should be quite simple, quite clean, and quite neutral kind of lines. So not like loads of puffy, massive puffy frills or lace or anything extravagant. Now, you might say to me, well, we see that on the catwalk, which is true, you do see it on the catwalk, but it's almost like an art form, and then it's toned down for the shops. And I still think, regardless, that kind of thing, you know, you can go into very expensive stores and see very, very garish pieces, and I still think they look cheap. So I think it's about kind of keeping it quite neutral, like I say, under the three colours, and avoiding all that flouncy kind of unnecessary fuss. Because often what that does as well, particularly if you are on a budget and you are trying to buy something that looks expensive, something that's got lots of fuss on it is often identifying to a certain trend. So that item won't necessarily last you as long because it will look dated a lot quicker with all that kind of flouncy fuss. And finally, it's avoid showing too much cleavage and short skirts, so in other words, too much. Now, I'm a big fan of women dressing exactly how they want, wherever they want and whatever they want, but I've always kind of gone by the rule of either, you know, short skirt and more covered up here, or cleavage and then longer skirt or trousers or whatever it is. I think that kind of general rule, and I do hate rules as a rule, don't even know what that means, work that one out, but I kind of think that works quite well. I think both can look too much. So again, whereas I was talking about earlier about less fuss, you know, like less is more, in this instance, less kind of flesh is kind of more, and I think that kind of can look much more sophisticated. So to summarise, essentially we're looking at minimising down the colours in our outfit, trying to choose quality over quantity, matching through the detail, look at the tiny details. So, you know, the detail on something that looks expensive is often tiny. It's maybe the stitching on a buttonhole, it's maybe the detailing on a button, it's mainly sometimes the detailing on a zip. You know, it's really tiny detail which often makes a garment look expensive. It's not the big, expressive, flouncy, frilly kind of out there garments with big logos that look expensive. So definitely avoid them. Small tiny little changes can make a really big difference to your outfit. Also, check out my video where I am asking you your feedback on a YouTube membership. Now, I know quite a few of you have said to me already you'd be interested in a YouTube membership. I am thinking of launching this shortly, and just so you know, shh, don't tell anybody, but keep an eye out on my shorts, because in the run up to Christmas I have some very exciting special offers coming up. So I hope you found that helpful. Let me know in the comments if there's anything you can think of that you do that helps you look more expensive, or whether there's a tip you've got for everybody, because I really like seeing some of your tips. Some of you have come up with some fantastic ideas. I might take you on as my assistants. But yeah, so let me know in the comments if you've got any tips or what you do to kind of look more sophisticated and expensive, if that's what you're looking to do and you're on a budget. I'd love to know what you do. Let me know what you think. Let me know what else you'd like to see, and have a wonderful week wherever you are. I hope it's not pelting with rain like it is here. I hope you've got some sunshine, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.